Hi everyone. Um, so we went through the individual questions that were on page 54 for the 3rd of May, this picture here. I just want to go through on page 55, activity 1.6 says that we need to use the information that we've got now and create a paragraph out of it. So I just want to read you my paragraph and what I have written for that. Okay, so activity 1.6. Okay, the French soldiers are shown close together, forming a pattern. This portrays them as one unit and takes away their humanity. This also gives the viewer no emotion towards them. The Spanish people are individuals cowering from the French. They are shown as victims. The few faces we see show fear and terror. This makes the viewer feel sorry for the Spanish. The man in the white shirt seems as if he has singled himself out to stop the French. He is the hope for the Spanish people. He is brave and is the only one who looks directly at the French soldiers. The message is to remember that day and not repeat the same mistakes. Okay, so that is the 3rd of May. Now we're going to move on to Picasso's Guernica. Okay, this picture here. All right, so I'm going to read you the questions. Discuss the following. What is your initial reaction to this work? Do you like it or not? Give reason for your opinion. Describe the scene in the painting. Name 8 parts in this painting. Is it a big or small painting? How would you feel standing before this work? Describe the colors used in this work. What mood does the use of the colors create in the work? How would you describe the shapes in this painting? Discuss the use of line in this painting. Discuss the application of paint. Is it blended, flat, or do you see clear brushstrokes? How does the character of the paint help with the portrayal of the subject? How would you describe the composition of the work and draw the main geometric shapes of the composition over the image? Okay, so sorry guys, jumping around. Okay, so there are the questions. You can pause the video now and answer those questions based on Guernica, this image here. Right, so now I'm going to go through the answers. First one, what is your initial reaction to the work? Do you like it or not? Give reason for your opinion. So that'll be a very personal answers. You're going to say whether you like or dislike it and why you've liked it or not. The next question, describe the scene in the painting. The scene shows random faces or people screaming in terror. There are some animals. It looks like a battle has taken place. There are dead bodies and severed limbs, as well as broken weapons. Third question, name 8 parts in the painting. There is a mother holding a dead child, a dead body in the bottom left. There is a bull above the mother. In the center is a sun with a light bulb in it. There is a horse in distress. In the center bottom, there is a severed arm with a broken weapon. There is a person in this stance of running with misformed legs. On the far right is a person who looks like they are being consumed by fire. Is it a big or small painting? How would you feel standing before this work? The painting measures 349.3 centimeters by 776.6 centimeters. It is extremely large. I would feel overwhelmed and not know where to look. Describe the colors used in this work. What mood does the use of colors create? There is no color. It is black and white. It is a very serious mood. How would you describe the shapes in this painting? The shapes are abstract and jagged, with organic shapes for the people and animals. Discuss the use of line in this painting. Lines are solid, black, and outline features on the animals' faces and human faces. Discuss the application of paint. Is it blended, flat, or do you see clear brushstrokes? How does the character of the paint help with the portrayal of the subject? The paint is applied in flat sections. It is not blended, and we don't see any brushstrokes. The characters are flat. Everything is cluttered together. Then how would you describe the composition of this work? This composition is cluttered. We have got people and animal on the same picture plane. There is shallow depth. And then lastly, draw the main geometric shapes of the composition over the images. So the bulk of our geometric shapes fall here, kind of to the right of center. We've got this block in the background, which forms triangles, and there's a curve here. And then we've also got some other geometric shapes scattered throughout the image. So here we've got a little triangle, the triangles that form the animal's ears. And over here, the flames are actually formed by triangles, and we've got a square forming a window in a building on the right here. Okay, the next image is Jane Alexander's The Butcher Boys. Okay, so this is activity 1.7. Oh, sorry. Going back to Guernica, we had to now summarize that into a paragraph. The animals are shown in fear and terror. The figures are also in fear. It is an abstraction, so figures are simplified. Picasso wanted the focus to be on the figures and not the color. It makes the scene more grotesque when you know the background. The one light source is the sun, which is innocent and calm. The second light source is the fire, which is ominous and scary. The bull and the sun are symbols of peace. It reminds us of what happened, and it is trying to stop it from happening again. It represents a scene, and they are recognizable figures, making it figurative. Okay, so Jane Alexander's The Butcher Boys. The questions: how does a sculpture differ from a painting? How do you think the artist made the sculpture? These figures are life-size. Describe your feelings about the work. Describe what you see. How are the noses and mouths shown? What happened to their ears? And describe details about their bodies. And then again, we're going to summarize that into a paragraph. Okay, so the first question, how does the sculpture, let me just go back so you can view the questions, and if you need to pause, you can pause and answer them. How does a sculpture differ from a painting? It is a three-dimensional artwork and can be seen from different angles. How do you think the artist made the sculpture? The artist used mixed media, including plaster, bone, and a wooden bench. She cast sculptures from humans. These figures are life-size. Describe your feelings about this work. The figures are disturbing, but extremely well made, so the feelings of admiration and fear are present. Describe what you see. There are three human-animal figures sitting next to each other on a bench. How are the noses and mouths shown? The noses are flat like a snout, and the mouths are sealed. What happened to their ears? They seem to be cut off. Describe details about their bodies. There is a deep cut down their chests. Their genitals are covered, and they have horns and black eyes. Summarizing into a paragraph, the figures have a deeper meaning. I changed from feeling fear to feeling pity for these beings. The figures are human, but not, which makes them intimidating. The title could refer to dealing with people like they are meat in a butchery. These people lose their humanity and become animals through their acts. It is a startling image to look at and has a deep meaning connected to South Africa. Right, the last image that we are going to analyze. So all of this is just very nice analyzing practice for all grades. Is this picture here called No Life by Sydney Hollow. Okay, so the questions. This work is a lino cut. What characteristics of this medium can you see in the print? Why do you think Hollow decided to portray this scene in a lino cut? Give 2 reasons. Describe the scene in this work. Describe the expressions on the faces of the people. Discuss his use of line and shape in this work. Indicate examples of texture and pattern in this print. What sort of space do you see in this work? What is the focal point in this print, and what makes it the focal point? What is the mood and atmosphere of this work? This work is a lino cut. What characteristics of this medium can you see in this print? Okay, so before I go through the answers, here we've got the first questions. You can pause, answer them. And here we've got the second or the last 2. And then you can also pause and answer them. Okay, so this work is a lino cut. What characteristics of this medium can you see in this print? It is black and white with no grey. The lines are bold with a big contrast. Why do you think Hollow decided to portray this scene in a lino cut? Give 2 reasons. It is a strong, bold image and can be produced multiple times. Describe the scene in this work. There is a boy being restrained, another with a gun, and a mother with a baby, all in an informal settlement. Describe the expressions on the faces of the people. The people all look upset and worried about something. Discuss the use of line and shape in this work. The lines are bold and show the figures. The shapes are majority organic, with geometric shapes shown in the shacks in the background. Indicate examples of texture and pattern in this print. The woman with the baby's blanket and the shacks have pattern. What sort of space do you see in this work? It is a deep space seen by the shacks in the background, being smaller and higher up on the picture plane. What is the focal point in this print, and what makes it the focal point? The woman is restraining the boy. The woman restraining the boy is central. She is bigger and very close to the viewer. What is the mood and atmosphere of this work? The mood is tense and fearful. And then, summarizing that into a paragraph, Hollow puts a human face on the history of the 1980s by showing 3 separate scenes together and using clear faces and emotions to show this. The message is to show the horror and to make people aware that it doesn't happen again.